This is the first estate. This lesson centers on Satanic Democratic Party divided against itself. Now on your screen is an image of the Strong's Concordance. This book contains the definition of every word in the King James Bible, Old and New Testament. This book is going to be my aid in helping convey this lesson. So we're going to just jump right into it. Now here on your screen is a printout from the Blue Letter Bible. Okay, Strong's Concordance, same thing, interchangeable. Now, here we have the word science, okay, and the Greek word gnosis, okay. Now, as you can see what the word science means, the deeper, more perfect, and enlarged knowledge of this religion, such as belongs to the more advanced. So, we're going to start, okay, with the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. Now, I will divert your attention up here to the left-hand corner of the screen. This is where you can keep track of these biblical verses. So, goes something like this. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. Because what you're going to learn here and in all of my lessons is knowledge you've never heard before. Okay? And I'm going to let my lessons speak for themselves. Okay? And then you will draw your own conclusion. So, moving on. Here we have an image. Joe Biden, as you can see, you can read, takes oath as 46th U.S. President. Okay? Now, we're going to move on to the next frame. So here brings me to the word adversary. Okay? Now, we're going to go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Let's try that one. So, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay? So, your adversary, the devil. Now, I'm going to go quickly to the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Now, I'm going to turn back to this word here, adversary, the devil. As you can see right there, it says Satan as the arch enemy. Now, if you've seen my lesson on Peter giving the keys to the classroom, you know that I deal with the key. Now, I'm going to go over to here, this word. Now, when we were in grade school, we were told to do what? Break words into syllables if you didn't understand. Okay? Now, this here word is a compound word, as you can see. We're going to break it into syllables. Antidikos. Okay? Now, antidikos or dikos, okay, which you prefer. Going to move on. So, anti, right here, see it's a word all by itself. It means against. Now, in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay? Okay, so we broke down the first portion. Anti means against. Now look at this. Dikos or dekos means what? Democratic Party. And this is from the Free Dictionary. So anti-dikos or dekos means Democratic Party. So the adversary to God is the Democratic Party. That's Satan. That's Satan's party. Now, we're going to go to the book of Ephesians. Okay? So, in the book of Ephesians, let's try that. And we're going to go to chapter 4, verses 12 through 14. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And we all know that the black community has been deceived by the Democratic Party. There's no mystery. The Democratic Party has the black community in the United States wrapped around its finger. Okay? Now, we're going to go to the book of Acts, chapter 27, verses 3, 4. Okay? So, and the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius courteously entreated Paul and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. Okay? And when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. Okay? No wonder they were contrary. Okay? Because, Paul, as you can see, Cyprus right here, said they went under Cyprus. The winds were contrary because Paul was going against, the false teachings that were out there. Remember Paul, who used to condemn and kill the church, was now teaching the church, the Gentiles. And these Gentiles were his people. Okay? They were black people. But because they had strayed away from, the Old Testament, teachings and their, their faith, okay, and went and sought Gentiles, true Gentile way of life, Paul had to go and reel them back in. So these were actually Negro people, but there are Gentiles that they were, intermarrying with and things of that nature, and these actual Gentiles were clinging on to, their mates. Okay, make a long story short. All right, so we're going to move along. So here's the image or the symbol of the Democratic Party. As you can see, you see the donkey or the ass here, Democratic Party. All right. So this is very important. See, black women for Biden-Harris 2020. This is no secret. The black women bragged about their role in getting Biden elected. They bragged about it. But now, when they've now seen the turn of events and how they really got nothing out of it, you rarely hear them say anything now. But this blood is on their hands because they are the ones that just pushed so heavily. Okay? They pushed it. They pushed that the black community has to go and vote for Biden and Harris because Donald Trump was the big bad boogeyman, the evil one. Well, I just showed you that it's the Democratic Party. That's Satan's party. Okay? So, with that, we're going to move on. Here's the Republican logo. It's the elephant. Okay? So, as we move on, Okay, word etymology. Now, the elephant represents knowledge. Remember, elephants, they never forget. They just don't forget no matter how long or how much time passes. If you do something to an elephant, they will always remember. So, it's a very, very smart animal. Okay? That's the symbol of the Democratic Party. All right? So, in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Okay? Remember, in the United States, blacks started out as Republican, wasn't Democrats. Somewhere along the way, you went off the righteous path. You've been manipulated into, you know, joining this Democratic Party. That's Satan's party. Satan's party. Okay? So, anyway, you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So, here we go. The word Jew. So, in the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Okay? So, that was the New Testament. Here, in the Old Testament, you see the word Jew also means Judah. Okay? Just want to point that out. We're going to do it step by step, like this is grade school. All right? So, here we have the word Judah. It means praised, the son of Jacob by Leah. Okay? Now, as we go to this frame, here we go. After the division of the kingdom, the name of this tribe was applied to one of the kingdoms, which included the tribes of Judah and Benjamin with a portion of Simeon, and Dan, and had Jerusalem for its metropolis. After the carrying away of the 10 tribes and after Babylonian exile, this name is applied to the whole land of Israel. So, all 12 tribes are known as Jews or Judah. Okay? So, we're going to move on. And yes, these tribes still have the distinct names. Okay? They still have, their own blessings and things of that nature, but they're all one bloodline. And what is that bloodline? Well, we're going to go here, Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2, and we're going to try and figure this out. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish, they are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Now, languish means weak, feeble, because the gatekeepers in the black community, not just in the United States, here in Canada as well, have let down the black community. Okay? They have destroyed it. They helped society or the so-called elites paint an image of us that is just atrocious. It is the most horrible image now, and it's an image that is so bad that we are said to be a people that have no culture. Yet everybody, mimics, what we do, and everybody has taken a piece of what we're all about and formed, or made it a part of their culture. See, our culture is culture. Black culture is the world. Without us, there is no world. I mean, we are God's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? But I just wanted to point out that, you blacks in America, you voted in Satan's party. And, there's going to be a cost for this one. Okay? I mean, nothing goes unpunished. Okay? So, anyway, this has been First Estate with another lesson and saying, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this lesson and was edified by it. Okay? Until next time.